M-Class emails.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm ready. Answer the questions.
It's time for email, baby.
Oh, that's soulful. Oh man, that's so sexy.
Everybody's got a boner now. Or a lady boner, as the case may be.
Yeah, a human boner.
Yes.
We're human sex boner.
We're all just one human family, and we all have boners.
Yeah, it's a general term.
A boner is just a general term, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything specific.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to specify and be like, I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah, we're going off on a whole tangent, so...
Yeah, I was going to talk about, like, the word moist and shit.
Moist is a pretty rough word.
People hate that word.
It doesn't bother me, but it bothers other people. Yeah, I do too.
Cake.
A moist cake.
Yeah, I want some moist cake.
Or a moist vagina.
Yep, that'll do that too.
I'm your host, Jeff.
I'm Josh.
And on this program, which is, by the way, going to be attached to our M-Class podcast episode about Deep Space Nine.
I don't know what episode
Emissary.
number this is. 4 or some 5? Who knows?
I think it's 5.
Know. Yeah, 5 sounds right.
We're really professional over here at the M-Class offices.
We have to count, and I don't want to do it.
Numbers are for pussies.
Yeah, what are we, some kind of dweebs thinking about numbers?
Fucking, I don't even like Star Trek, nerds.
Yeah, nerds.
Anyway, let's answer some questions about Star Trek.
Yeah.
You can send your own questions about Star Trek or literally anything else. It doesn't have to do with Star Trek at all.
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
To mclassemail@gmail.com.
My cat just knocked over a bunch of things. Oh, that's cool. Whatever, let's go.
That's awesome.
Yep, he's like looking at it like, what?
What did I do?
What happened just now that I did this?
Our first email is from Johnny Cordova. Who says, "Sup, Trek boys?
Trek boys!" Just getting louder and more obnoxious.
I just imagine, like, samba music in the background behind it.
Yeah. Like maybe a steel drum.
Boys!
Yeah.
I don't really have any Star Trek questions for you, but emailing in is still more fun than that game Riker brought. So I feel like I had to think of something. Insert perfect segue here.
Great. It was really good.
What is one of your favorite books? Thanks, dudes. Sent from my space phone, Johnny Cordova.
Did we talk about space phones before?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I love that the title of the email is "Let me see those books, girl."
That's a very scholarly dude trying to get laid.
Let me see them books, girl.
Yo, let me see that library.
Let's open that book, girl.
Spread your book legs. Wait, what? That just got weird.
That's how you get it to work, though. You gotta slowly change it into a sexual thing.
You just sell it hard enough, you're good.
Yeah, that's definitely not how it works, people listening to this, by the way.
No, don't do that.
Don't say weird shit to anybody. You're not gonna get
unless
laid.
it's totally cool.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, I've said some weird things at inappropriate times in my life. I will not get into it here, but I will talk to you about it, Jeff, at the end of the show.
I can't wait for that.
People are going to be like, what did he say?
Jeff, what did he say at the end? I'm just going to make the most ridiculous fucking story up.
I'm sure you could come close to something.
Like, I'm going to make it worse and worse every time someone asks me.
Yeah. It was something that I got away with, and like, any other time in my life, I probably wouldn't have been able to get away with it.
So what's one of your favorite books?
Oh, man. We were just talking about The Hobbit. That's not my favorite book, but...
The Hobbit's a great book, but I wouldn't call it my favorite.
I don't know. I really, really like A Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It's like a fantasy book.
That sounds fantasy as fuck.
It's incredible. Like... I have the second one. I haven't started it yet. I borrowed it from Stupid Zane.
Stupid?
She's stupid because she let me borrow the book, which is dumb as fuck.
Gone forever now.
Because it's fucking mine now.
Gone forever.
You knew what this was, Zane. That's like probably my favorite book I've read recently. One of my favorite books of all time, I've talked about this a million times, is Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh, yeah?
Which is like a super fucking sad children's book.
Yes, it is.
I fucking love that book. I feel like that book, like, showed me, like, how to be a person.
Oh yeah, damn.
Like it made me aware of the sadness in the world.
It gave you the tools to deal with it a little bit better.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, people would probably think that that's not true, but I'm not as sad as everyone thinks I am. I get portrayed as this sad boy all the time.
Josh is the true. Ringo Starr of the Beatles, right? Where everybody calls him the sad Beatle, but he's really the fun Beatle.
I'm the fun one.
It's true. He is the fun one.
Those are the only. I don't know. I've read a lot of books. Not a lot of books, but I've read some books where I was like, I don't know why I read that one.
Yeah, I think we've all been through that experience where you're like, I just gotta finish this.
Yeah, you're just doing it.
I started it, I gotta finish it.
Yeah.
I felt that way when I read Tech War by William Shatner.
Yeah.
What a piece of garbage.
That dude.
Not just the book either, but the book is also garbage. I absolutely fucking love Raymond Chandler novels. The Big Sleep is one of my favorite novels ever.
That's cool.
Oh my god.
You like detective stories,
I
right?
am a huge fan of detective stories.
Yeah, I never got into them so much. I read a really funny one. I forget the fucking name of it. A guy who wrote for The Simpsons wrote it.
Oh yeah?
And it's a parody of a detective novel.
I like a good detective parody too.
It's fucking dude, I'll fucking
you should find out about that and let me know.
I'll fucking look it up, yeah.
I love a detective parody so much. One of my favorite Looney Tunes ever is the Duck Twacey cartoon.
Yeah, Duck Twacey.
God, that cartoon is so fucking good. I'm gonna rub you out, see? God, I'm trying to think of my absolute favorite books.
I found it. It's called The Time Machine Did It.
Oh yeah.
By Frank Burley.
Oh man.
It's like a time travel mystery.
Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, that's a great book.
Is maybe one of my favorites ever as well.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know.
It's a really, really tough question.
It's tough. Having a favorite book is like having a favorite song. It's
really impossible.
It's hard.
And it changes from day to day depending on what book you've read or what song you've listened to last.
Right.
So I don't know.
Not a static thing for me.
It's really tough.
My cat is doing something stupid. What are you fucking doing? Oh my god. Whatever. Do whatever you want. I don't care.
That's the cat way to live. Do whatever you want. Hopefully that answers your question, Johnny. We gave you a couple each. I think that's pretty
there's
good.
a few in there.
It's pretty good. Fucking deal with it. Our next email is from Nishka.
Okay.
Who says, "Hey guys, so I think I'm an oddity based on your past emails, but I actually came here from Jeff's other podcast, Writer Club Radio, and
welcome.
I'd never heard of Josh or Continue.
Good.
Damn. That said, Josh seems like a pretty cool dude, and you two make a pretty natural pair of hosts for a Trek podcast.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we
Nishka.
got it from kissing each other. Kiss practice helps.
Just kiss fighting is how we honed our powers.
Yeah, it's like those anime where they fight, but then they fuck each other.
I think those are called hentai.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right?
That's a normal thing. Everybody knows. It's polite society knows.
Yeah.
I know Nishka because Nishka writes in to the other podcast a lot, and I appreciate that.
Well, welcome, Nishka.
M-Class has been great so far, and I'm really glad you've opted to look at a series of episodes centered around specific themes rather than soldiering through every episode in order.
I'm really glad about that, too.
Yeah, dude, the giant mountain of episodes we had before us was...
It's, daunting.
Insurmountable, is what it was. We would die before we got to it.
Yeah, this way we get to, cleverly think of reasons to watch those episodes that we kind of want to watch.
And eventually you guys will have an outlet to, vote on what our next theme is going to be.
Yeah.
Which will be fun for you, too.
For sure.
I think it'll offer a lot of opportunities for you and your listeners to really explore the evolution of Star Trek, not just look at some interesting episodes.
Okay.
The previous podcast was a great example, as the divide between the cage and where no man has gone before is probably the biggest between any Star Trek pilots, at least tonally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like two completely separate shows, almost.
Yeah, you have to remember, too, like, the television was really different when those were made also, like...
Oh, yeah.
By the time, like, TNG rolled around, like, they weren't making television shows, like... all willy-nilly, but in the 60s they were like, we need fucking shows.
We gotta put something on to fill the airtime.
Yeah. There's so many hours in a day, we need shit, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't even like they were playing TV 24/7.
Right, it turned off at like midnight.
At midnight that shit turned off, but it was just a test screen for the rest of the night until 6 a.m.
Until 6 in the morning, right? It's ridiculous. Like, how crazy. And it's fucking 3 channels.
Yeah. And even then, they were just scrambling to find stuff to put on TV.
Yeah,
because it was low budget as fuck. You had like so much money for your entire channel.
Yeah, figure like there was a bunch of different like I think of it this way. Like there was a bunch of different like already in place industries adapting to television. A lot like now, like with the internet. Like
television is trying to adapt to the internet still.
Yeah,
they've been trying to do that since the 90s. Really,
they're failing at it. But,
oh yeah.
But, like, you figure, like, the movie industry and, like, basically, like, the theater industry, like, acting industry, kind of, like, came together to make TV. So it's, like, this weird hodgepodge going on.
That's true. It's more theater to begin with. Like, all of the shows that are, like, more dramatic are much more theater.
Yeah, they're still acting, like, for the stage, which is, like, weird. Now you look at it and you're like, this is super weird.
Yeah. like I Love Lucy's a great show. I really love that show. But if you go back and watch it, it's like a stage play.
Yeah, it's a play
where they have 3 sets. Yeah, and it's just stuff happens in those sets.
Yeah,
and you get to the later seasons, and they do more like now modern sitcom things where like there's a shot that's outside the window.
Yeah.
But it's like a stage play otherwise. Right. Anyway, I know you like questions, so here you go.
Okay.
What do you think are the best tributes / homages to Star Trek in mainstream media? I would say that
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Nishka says, I would say that my favorite has to be Where No Fan Has Gone Before from Futurama.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, I mean, I love Futurama.
I do too. So yeah, the episode managed to hit all the notes for me. Riffing on the fans, riffing on the cast, throwing out James Doohan.
Welshie, no!
Throwing out James Doohan and replacing him with Welshie because he refused to appear. It's just beautiful love from beginning to end with the kind of attention you only get from fan productions. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Shirt it, Nishka.
Oh, yeah.
God. Yeah, it's got to be Galaxy Quest, right? Like,
Galaxy Quest is like an actually good Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works as a parody of Star Trek, a love letter to Star Trek, and its own movie.
It's great. It's like a trifecta. Which is amazing.
So difficult to achieve. Like, it's amazing that they did at the time.
Yeah. I don't think you could do that on purpose. Like, it just sort of like...
all the pieces fell into place.
Yeah. And like anything, I mean, there's a billion Star Trek things in Futurama. Like, at least one. I mean, I know that episode is like the crew of the Enterprise is in it, but like, obviously, there's like Futurama's like heavily inspired by Star Trek.
Like the world of Futurama just has Star Trek stuff in it all over the place.
Yeah. And then they like the heads in the jar and shit is like making fun. I think that's like from something.
I think it is, but I don't know what.
A reference to something. Somebody told me, I forget what it is, though.
It's tough to pick because Star Trek has, like, permeated our culture so heavily.
Yeah. So I didn't get to talk about this on the other show we just did 5 minutes ago. But when I went to the Geek Awards in Philly, when we got nominated this year or whatever, a doctor won one for inventing a tricorder.
Really?
That, like, uses AI to, like, diagnose a person. It's fucking crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Like, it's the fucking future out there, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I was like, there was a kid who was, like, 20 years old who, like, I mean, this kid's like a genius.
Yeah, he invented Star Trek.
It was no, this kid wasn't the kid, but this kid invented another thing for like I forget what it was. It's for like either deaf people or something. I'm really sorry, I forget what it is, but like he like just invented this thing for your iPhone that like helps like people like communicate, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like I make fucking dick jokes on the internet. Like I should leave right now.
I don't know about that. Like it's the difference between like a teacher and a janitor. They both have important jobs.
Yeah, and I'm the janitor. And
I'm the janitor too. Don't be talking bad about janitors, asshole.
It's like the difference between a janitor and a guy who invented a fucking tricorder.
I was never gonna be the guy who invented the tricorder. I got B's in science. I got A's in science, but I can get fucking A pluses.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to get A pluses.
You need to have some sort of drive about yourself.
Yeah,
I don't got any of that
true.
shit.
Yeah, I just want to watch Star Trek all day.
Exactly. Like, I just want to enjoy the things other people make for me.
Consume.
I'm just a consumer. Thanks for writing in, Nishka.
Hopefully we kind of answered that question.
Actually, I wanted to point out that I absolutely love this music video that you can find on YouTube that a friend of the show, Tad's Beard, pointed out to me. That it's a song by The Firm called Star Trekkin'.
Okay.
That is obviously from somebody who loves Star Trek. And
there's a Nerf Herder. There's a Nerf Herder song about Star Trek too.
Really?
It's great. I forget the name of the song. I think it's called Mr. Spock, actually.
God, you know what my favorite thing is in the world?
Star Trek.
Yes. But this involves Star Trek, so it fits. Is how many rappers reference Star Trek all the time.
Yeah, well, Spock rhymes with a shitload of things.
It really does. But, like, hearing Spock in, like, a Biz Marquee song or a Beastie Boys or Wu-Tang, it always fucking lights my heart up every time I hear it.
It's great. That's why hip-hop is amazing.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
talk about
like
anything.
Two of my absolute favorite things.
Yeah.
Having a little bit of a powwow.
Yeah, it's cool.
But, yeah, you should look up The Firm Star Trekkin'.
I'll look it up then.
It's good shit.
Star Trekkin'.
Our next email is from Steve Nimzik.
Oh yeah, hey Steve.
Hey Steve. He says, "Hey guys, riding while on the road again. Screw you, Ohio." This dude is always in Ohio.
Yeah, he hates it.
Anyway, somebody said that my catchphrase was "anyway" like that, and I was like, no, I'm just saying Josh's.
That's from a million things.
People are just having me say Josh's catchphrase.
That's all right. You can have it.
I don't want it. My catchphrase is "now that's fucking." That's always been my catchphrase. Just if you pick up my action figure and pull the string on it, that's what he says.
Holy shit! What a great catchphrase.
Anyway, I have a question for you all that might not make sense because I'm high on Monster Energy drinks, jerky, and Swedish fish.
All right.
There was a book called Immortal Coil where Data was the protagonist. They even threw in a race of androids from the original series and the homicidal M5 computer. In that book, a new type of android is developed that uses a hologram of a positron brain instead of a physical one.
That's smart.
This utilized micro-holographic emitters. It was a workaround for the Cascade failure that plagued the cybernetic scientists trying to duplicate Data.
Yeah, and lol.
Yeah.
Rip lol.
R.I.P. Thing is, though, should that have really worked? I mean, the Voyager Doctor is considered alive by the crew, but I don't think he's considered sentient like Data, or was he?
Yes.
Yes, he was.
So, like, here's the thing with holograms. Like, the longer you leave them on, the smarter. They're like the droids from Star Wars. Like, you have to, like, erase them, or they, figure out what they are.
They have personalities after a certain period of time because they gain more sentience the longer they're running.
Yeah, it's like the ghost in the machine, right? Like, it's like, eventually, like, the weird, like, quirky bugs that naturally occur in a program, like, create, like, a unique mind. It's weird.
I feel like the positronic brain is unnecessary because the Doctor is actually far more human than Data is.
Yeah.
He already has like a full personality and can experience emotions and stuff. A positronic brain hologram would actually be far worse.
It's like doing things the hard way, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I guess that's kind of the point, is that like Soong could like do that. Like,
yeah,
where nobody else could, you know?
He could make a chip that just has emotions on it.
Yeah. Yeah, which is like, okay.
I guess that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, I think that book was a little silly.
Yeah.
Because you could
I never read it, but...
I didn't read it either. Maybe it makes up for it in other ways. But the concept is silly, because you could just make a hologram like the Doctor and have him have all the functionality of Data.
Yeah. The only thing is that the Doctor is unique like Data in that he has the mobile emitter and nobody else has that.
I think the way this is being explained is that the brain is holographic, but the rest of it isn't.
Okay, that's really dumb.
That's actually really stupid, because
you just wouldn't need the brain.
You can't interface. You could only have the brain do what a computer can do.
Right. Is the brain...
The emitters are emitting a computer. It would be like running something remotely.
Right.
You would just be running the android body remotely from a computer.
Yeah, why not just skip the android body?
Okay, this book is stupid now.
Yeah, I fucking hate this book.
Fuck every book that this person has ever written.
Piece of shit.
Thanks for writing in, Steve. Our next email is from Andrew.
Andrew. WK, probably.
He doesn't say his last name, so I'm gonna assume.
Okay.
Hey guys, I wanted to say that you guys have successfully converted me into a Star Trek fan.
Finally.
That's awesome.
Thank you. That's great. That's great news.
I never thought I'd get into it because of the ultra nerd stereotype that pop culture has given it, and I'm super upset for all of those that only view it as that.
Yeah, I feel like that's not really a thing anymore, but I'm sure that there is.
I feel like it kind of is, because like, if I'm at work and I tell somebody I play video games or and like anything like that, they're like, oh, whatever. But if I say I like Star Trek, they're like, really?
Yeah, I guess I'm sort of insulated to a lot of that, because like
you're surrounded by dorks all day. Because
everyone's a fucking nerd who was around me all the time.
Yep, I'm not helping matters any. It also didn't help me that in my sophomore year of college, my Trek superfan professor was one of those hardcore motherfuckers. Like, he lived long and prospered the fuck out of that class.
Yeah, it's a little obnoxious. I'm not into that.
He made us watch an episode of TOS where they go to, like, an ancient Rome planet or something. Yeah, that's the one with Apollo.
Yeah, Apollo's, yeah.
Anyway, despite that, I found the way to actually appreciate the show and even got my roommate to start binging TNG too.
Nice!
What a fucking beautiful story.
I love that. Those are my favorite things to hear.
Like, getting people into Star Trek is just my lifeblood, man.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
So, questions. Have either of you ever come up with an idea or storyline or a theme that Star Trek has never done and wished was explored or explored more?
Oh, I think...
endlessly. Like, the other day, I pitched one to Josh, even.
Oh, okay. You don't mean, like, a type of story, though. Like, I was thinking, like, more lines of, like, all the stories have always... Like, what is it? Like, there's, like, 32 types of stories, right?
Yeah, I don't know the actual number, but there are a limited amount of the way stories can be played out.
Yeah, like, just the way that the human storytelling mechanism works.
I want a buddy cop Star Trek.
You did tell me about the buddy cop.
Well, they're not a buddy cop. It's like an odd couple thing.
They're like an odd couple.
I was making like a fucking sitcom, basically a Star Trek sitcom. But I want like a buddy cop where like no nonsense by the book Starfleet security officer has to work with a Klingon who's loose cannon on the edge, all about battle and war.
Yeah, he can't be contained, right? Yeah.
And they have to, like, solve a murder or something.
Yeah, it'd be a cool, like, one-off. There's, kind of like when we watched The Cage? The Cage?
The Cage, the TOS pilot?
Yeah, with the one with Pike.
That's The Cage.
Yeah, like, I kind of viewed that as, like, just like a one-off, where it was like, oh, this is just, like, a different story in Star Trek. Like, I think that you could definitely make, like these like little vignette Star Trek episodes that were like full episodes, but like were just about stuff like that.
It's like a lower decks type of thing where it's just a different cast doing a different thing for a little while.
Yeah, and you could tell like a million different Star Trek stories that way.
That's what I was originally really excited about for Discovery when they said all those rumors were circulating that it was going to be an anthology series.
That would have been incredible.
Where it was just going to be a different story every 13 episodes.
But Jeff, how are you going to ruin Star Trek if you do a good idea?
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said my piece about Discovery already on Twitter, on the sidecast, on this program.
We'll see, I guess, right?
We'll see, I guess.
It's really stupid. I mean, CBS they're idiots.
They have screwed the pooch so fucking hard.
I don't know what is going on with that show, but okay.
Did it bother anyone else how racist Dr. Pulaski is to Data? Shit grinded my gears.
I thought she was more Bonesy. Like, she's Bones, right?
The only problem was, she was very much Bones. She was just female Bones.
Female Bones, yeah.
And the only problem was, when Bones would say some heinous shit to Spock, Spock would fire back something that would put Bones in his place immediately.
But Data can't do that. Yeah.
So Data just sat and took it like a sad child at school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it just, the dynamic did not work.
I kind of like her. I don't know. I find her to be like a nice, like, change.
Like, I liked her just fine. A lot of people hate her, and I don't see that at all. But I didn't like her being a roboticist. No, that's somebody that makes robots.
A roboticist, yeah.
A robo-racist.
I never thought of it that way, but, like, I don't know. Like, I can see where you might feel that. Because Data's so lovable, right? Like...
Yeah, and it was really like she was just picking on a child that couldn't defend himself.
Yeah, like, yeah. Oh, this cat is, like, up here now. Come on, man. You gotta get down. We're leaving all this in the fucking episode.
And nothing's coming out of there. Fuck it. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Well, if you didn't just skip over it. Love, Andrew. I read all of it, you fucker.
Thank you.
No, thanks for the email, Andrew. That was great. Our next email is from Richard Masters, and it's a long one, so strap in.
Okay.
Yo, Trek boys!
Trek boys!
It's getting longer. Great job on the new format. The series idea, the season... Fuck, this is why I couldn't come... Collections is what I called it.
That's great.
The collections idea for new content is a great one, and I'm looking forward to seeing your choices.
Thank you. We're getting our dicks sucked hard about that.
Yeah, God,
that's a you idea. That you came up with. I can't take credit for any of this.
Oh,
that
whatever. Was you. I'm a smart boy.
They need to know.
A few recommendations for the new format.
Okay.
1, episodes where Worf suggests a completely overly aggressive course of action to a straightforward situation.
So every episode Worf is in. Okay.
A moat of space dust, photon torpedoes. Picard's chair squeaks, ready phasers.
Weld it with a phaser.
That guy needs more prune juice to block up whatever's up his butt.
I think that's like part of the joke, right?
It's like, gotta be.
That's why he likes the prune juice, because it makes him regular.
2, episodes where Riker doesn't understand how to sit in a chair or lunges around the bridge like a Richard Simmons video.
So every episode with Riker.
I imagine he has to sit like that to ease his space herpes.
Oh my god.
Wait,
I got cures for that shit.
Take that back. I should have said Klingonorrhea.
Oh wow, the first one was a little better somehow. The second one, it might grow on me.
Episode 3, 3 episodes where the Voyager crew go through some meaningful changes and development, and then the reset button is pushed at the end of the episode. Oh wait.
Oh my god.
4, those episodes where Data says he is capable of 6 trillion calculations a second, but still does that head tick for 3 seconds when he's asked a yes or no question.
That's like the first season.
Goddamn Android overcomplicating things.
Yeah, that tick is a little...
5.
It's like...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say it's like the hard drive clicking.
It is.
Click, yeah. Click.
5. Episodes where Janeway upholds the Prime Directive. There has to be one of those, right?
Never.
She's a war criminal. 6. Episodes which give you the moral dilemma of wondering whether Avery Brooks is a good actor or an actual piece of ham.
What?
Seriously, there are episodes where he squeaks and squeals and then theatrically wails, sounding much more like R2-D2 getting stunned by a Jawa.
I love him, man. I would go to bat
Avery
for him.
Brooks is great.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants, man.
This digression leads me to my question, I guess.
Oh, those. Okay.
What are your favorite types of Star Trek episode? 2-part mini-movies? Holodeck shenanigans? First contact missions? Prime Directive stuff?
There aren't too many First Contact mission episodes.
Not really.
There's a couple. I know of 2 off the top of my head.
There's actually a lot of that in TOS, but they first contact with like Greek gods or shit.
Yeah, the First Contact is always like, what is happening here?
What the fuck is up with this weirdo planet?
You could say there's like technically other ones. Those are super fun. Holodeck ones are not my favorite, honestly. I don't know.
I like holodeck episodes that are about like detective stories, but that's just because I have an affinity for them.
I don't not like them, but like they're not my favorite. I don't know. Like the more Twilight Zone-y, the better for me. So like
man, I think
even
you need to rewatch TOS.
I know
it's so fucking Twilight Zone-y.
But I mean like the ones that are like have like a lesson at the end are cool.
That's true. I do like that. Like
Darmok is incredible.
That
obviously.
is a fucking amazing episode.
There's a ton of that, but I don't know. I don't know if I have like a type. It's like Ray Sherman said. I like what I like.
I don't know art.
I ain't got no type.
Like.
Yeah, I ain't got no type.
Rich's personal favorites.
Okay, yes, go.
Are O'Brien Suffers episodes and ethical dilemmas where the captain has to pontificate and deliver a speech.
Yeah, those are great.
Those are great. I think Measure of a Man is really great for that. But my favorite might be the Drumhead. The episode with the guy who turns out he's not a quarter Vulcan, he's a quarter Romulan.
Yeah, that one's tough to watch.
But like Picard,
it's a little too close to home right now. I had to skip it recently.
It does.
This is like how America is right now, so I don't really want to.
Picard gives such an amazing speech in that episode, though.
Yeah.
Rich goes into some pretty deep reasons why he likes these episodes. That I'm gonna skip. But thank you, Rich, for writing in.
I'll read them later.
He says, it only remains to say that what I've always said and will always say. You guys are doing great and giving a load of us listeners more laughs than should be possible in a few hours per fortnight.
Wow.
Live long and party hard, Rich. Live long
party
and...
on, dudes.
Fuck, I was gonna say that. Fuck you.
Same person.
Live long and party on, dudes.
Party on, dudes.
Our next email.
Abraham Lincoln.
Our next email is from Harvey Rollins.
Henry Rollins' younger brother.
It's Henry Rollins. He just changed the name so he wouldn't know.
Clever.
Love the show, and the new segment sounds promising. Here's my contribution.
Awesome.
To Boston Sean's Pitch It or Ditch It.
Pitch It or Ditch It, yeah.
And you have to say that, by the way, when you write in. It is Boston Sean's Pitch It or Ditch It.
Pitch It or Ditch It. It's copywritten.
It's like Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek.
Yeah.
1, DS9, a religious group on Bajor, hard ditch.
Yeah, already don't care.
Hard ditch.
So you mean Bajor?
Let me finish. A religious group on Bajor that does not worship the prophets or Pa race petitions to have a crew member instated on the station as they feel underrepresented since the Emissary is the contact for Starfleet and not every person on Bajor believes in a single religion.
I'm gonna ditch it because that feels a little cousin. What's his name?
Cousin Oliver.
Cousin Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little. I don't know.
DS9 already has a cousin Oliver, but she was super cute, so no one cared.
A cousin Oliver who didn't bitch about her contract. I don't know if that's what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna ditch it as well. Like, the fact of the matter is, whether it makes sense or not, everyone on Bajor does believe in a single religion.
Yeah, I mean, you could do. I mean, it's. I'm big into like going in depth and stuff, but like, I don't know.
The way it would work, either the crew member has to stay on, which is a cousin Oliver situation,
right,
or they have to come up with some shitty reason they can't.
Yeah, or they die or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Pitch it or ditch it 2. DS9 again. Okay. A member of the crew approaches Bashir and tells them they've always wanted to be Cardassian all their life. Will he perform surgery on them to become as close as possible to the real thing?
And they're Bajoran, I'm assuming.
Maybe. That would be...
That would be interesting.
That would be an interesing episode, especially because Kira would be against it immediately.
Yeah, and like, it's very, like transgender...
Yeah.
Themed, which would be great.
And it would be like... It would be like couched in a metaphor. Yeah. I think one of the big complaints about Enterprise is that there isn't a metaphor when they're doing topical episodes. It's suddenly somebody's addicted to drugs, or
that's the thing, is like it's too close to our real life.
Yeah,
like,
it's too on the nose.
Yeah, it's not future enough for them to have these like outlandish like alien encounters. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll say pitch it.
I would pitch that. I
think that sounds like a good episode.
Yeah.
And he put a number 3 and then a giant blank spot.
Okay.
So
do we have to make one up? Oh, no.
I don't know. He didn't say to make one up, so I'm not gonna.
Number 3. Maybe we'll get it later.
All right. I think I will make one up. Number 3. Jake gets thrown forward into the future. Wait. And we get to see an entire episode that takes place on Nog's ship.
That would be great.
Well, they have to figure out a way to get Jake back to the past because his presence is ripping a distortion in space-time.
All right, pitch it. I'm sold. You got me. We're good. Yep. That was really good.
I'm a smart boy.
I'm not even going to try to... just go to the next question. I'm not even going to...
Shit, we got another one from Johnny Cordova. Johnny Cordova says, "Hey, Trek boys!
Trek boys!"
And in parentheses it says, "Go Josh, go." Yeah! He knew. I'm watching the episode of TNG where Lore takes control of some Borg and Crusher is in control of the ship. It's called Descent.
Yeah. Parts 1 and 2.
It made me think, who out of all the other Trek characters would you like to be captain and why? Also, was it just me, or did Ensign Tate sound way too close to Taint?
Which one's Ensign Tate?
I don't remember.
There's a couple that are around for, like... There's the one lady who has, like, the real cool, like, 90s
Yeah, she's got, like, this fringe hair thing.
Yeah.
It's like short in the back and long in the front.
Yeah, then there's the African-American lady who's always the ensign. Like, she's on the show, like, a lot, actually. And then there's Ro. Before they get Ro, and then Ro's, like, you know...
She's there for a while. Ensign Tate does sound a lot like Ensign Taint.
Yeah, but they don't care about that in the future.
No.
They don't even say, like, take a leak in the future, so, like, they're not thinking about taints.
I like he's like, take a leak.
Yeah, it's like, you don't know what that means?
It's like 200 years in the future. 300 years in the future.
It's not that fucking far away. I'm pretty sure people said take a leak in, like, the 1700s.
I doubt it.
I'm sure they said...
Taketh a leaketh.
I'm going to go to the old pisser.
They just go to the loo.
Ye old loo.
God, who would make a good captain?
I don't like Crusher as captain. I don't know.
She did a better job than Troy.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Troy's like, I don't even know what the procedures are.
They're like, Troy, what do we do? She's like, well, I don't know. I'm just the counselor.
Fire photons.
I thought Crusher wasn't bad.
She's alright, but...
I was glad that Sulu became captain in TOS because he was always given the con and he did a great job when he was in control all the time.
Yeah, he's a great like captain. Like he stands on his own, right?
Oh yeah,
like, he's up there.
God, I don't know. It's tough. I'd like to see somebody who's not quite ready to be captain become captain.
Right.
Like somebody like Geordi.
Well, he's captain in Voyager.
Yeah. He's like technically really capable, but he's like really soft-hearted. Yeah, I don't think everybody should be a captain, right? Like, no, they definitely
there are people
shouldn't.
who just should never be a captain.
Barclay should never be a captain.
Yeah, Barclay's never going to be a captain. He can't even fucking, like, take a piss or take a leak, as they say.
I don't understand what that means.
It's when water comes out of your pee hole.
Oh, you mean urination.
Why didn't you use the medical term? That's how we all think here.
We all talk medically now.
Science.
I don't know. Who'd make a good captain. Dax would probably make a good captain.
Dax is pretty good.
At least Jadzia would have made a good captain.
Yeah,
Esri would not make a good captain.
Esri would be like,
I don't know what
I'm cute.
Oh, man. Nog.
It would be interesting to see, like, Kira, like, get, like, because eventually the Bajorans get assimilated into Starfleet, right? Like, they join.
Don't use the assimilation word.
Well, they get, what's the word when...
They
like,
join Starfleet.
Yeah, but, like, when you have one organization that, like, gets assimilated into another one.
I believe the word is assimilation.
There's, like, another word. I don't know. Maybe I'm making it up. I don't know.
I don't know. I lose words all the fucking time.
Yeah,
so
I'm old and stupid now.
I have Alzheimer's.
What? Who are you?
Oh.
Where am I?
This is not a funny episode anymore.
Oh no.
Oh no. I guess the answer to your question, Johnny, is I don't know.
Yeah.
I gave some examples.
Jadzia is the most capable, like who are the most ready is a good question. Like I don't like.
Yeah, like
Worf does a pretty good job.
Worf would be like real stringent. Data made a great captain when he was in charge of shit.
Yeah, and in the canon he becomes captain, but you just never see it.
Dude, I absolutely love when he takes Worf aside and like chastises him for speaking out against his orders.
Yeah.
And he goes through this whole thing and he ends it by saying, "I would understand if you no longer wish to be my friend."
Yeah, it's great.
I understand if this means our friendship is concluded, and Worf says, "If it's all the same to you, I would still wish to be considered your friend."
It's like two robots, like one robot and like another robot talking.
And they're best friends.
Yeah,
it's so cute.
They have some really good moments together in that show.
That fucking TNG has the best cast. Like, I love all the other shows and they're all their casts, but TNG was like, even people who came on for recurring roles just knocked it out of the park.
They're great, yeah.
P.S. I totally did not notice Jeff's accent until he said something about it.
Yeah, it's not noticeable.
Well, until I say something about it, apparently.
I don't even notice it.
Now a bunch of people know. Oh, man, we got an email from Chris Peters, and he sent it to the wrong email address because I kept giving it wrong.
The emails? I was wondering about that.
I'm so bad at everything.
It's all right.
It's email without an S, everybody. I'm sorry. He starts out
emails.
He starts by saying, "Jeff, please read this email in the dignified accent of a refined Southern gentleman." Hey yo, name's Chris, and I've been a Star Trek fan for years. Mostly TNG and DS9, but I've seen all the series. I can't believe Josh hasn't seen TOS. I guess you'll have to fire him. But it's because of you Trek boys that I got around to watching the TOS movies.
Oh, we talking about them Trek boys? Looks like them Trek boys are in a heap of trouble.
Them Trek boys are at it again.
It's a little Dukes of Hazzard for you.
I guess it's true what they say. Even numbered ones are the good ones. Odds are not so good.
Oh my god.
Speaking of the old movies, remember that bit in Undiscovered Country where Scotty bursts in on the Klingon sniper and blasts him? I'm pretty sure that's a homage to the Day of the Jackal, 1973.
Oh, really?
No idea if that's relevant to you guys, but it's one of my favorite thrillers. So I thought it was cool. Movie. Nah, I've never seen it either.
It might be, though. Great catch if that's true.
I'm looking forward to you guys going through the series, especially Deep Space Nine. You've talked a couple times about your favorite episodes so far, and I wanted to give you my 2 cents.
Okay.
Most folks mention The Inner Light as their favorite TNG episode.
Yeah.
But I have a soft spot for its follow-ups, Lessons.
Which one's that one?
Season 6, Episode 19. I found the romance to be a real tearjerker.
Oh, it's the one with Picard and the science lady.
Yeah. What do you guys think of that episode? It was touching seeing Picard open up like that, and the tragedy of knowing he couldn't maintain that relationship with his subordinate. Signed, Chris. P.S. War is hell. I added that last part, and he didn't write that.
The hardtack here is terrible. Tell Mother I think of her often. Yeah, no, that episode rules. Like, that's a great, like, it's a great, like, fall in love, like, moment. Like, I don't know. Like, think of, like, if you've ever fallen in love in real life, like, sometimes, like, it just happens like that.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I just, like, found this person somehow.
It's always, like, really sort of heartbreaking when it doesn't work out.
Right.
Or circumstances force themselves and it doesn't work out. Like, I'll tell a story of love and loss to you guys.
Uh-huh.
I fell in love with this girl during the summer, and then she moved.
Yeah. And then I showed up.
R.I.P.
So your life is better now. I don't know what you're sad about.
Now I'm in love with a redhead.
2 redheads.
2 redheads. I was talking about my wife, but you too.
I took it as me, so that shows you how much of an ego I have.
Nah, I love you, Josh.
I love you too. Let's kiss about it. That's drinking water.
That's the sound we kiss. So. Thanks, Chris. We really appreciate you writing in.
Great email.
I love that episode, by the way. I don't know if I fucking even answered that, but
yeah, it's a good episode.
Our next email is from Jack Carpenter.
Okay.
Who said, "Hey bros, I hope all's well.
Hi.
First off, I gotta say, I was super pumped that Jeff was on the recent Continue Q&A.
Yeah.
I just happened to, like, fall ass backwards into being there at that time.
Yeah, you, like, showed back up, and they were like, come on in!
Yeah, I was just there. I popped into the chat room, and I was like, oh shit, my microphone's hooked up. And they were just like, yeah, join us!
Yeah. But we get sick of talking the whole time, so.
I felt like really stupid answering the questions because I'm like, nobody gives a fuck what I think about this.
No, dude, you're good. You're good to go.
Also, Josh, I'm equally as pumped that you and Luke are doing a new football podcast. My Continuverse Cup runneth over.
Oh, I know. It's been crazy lately. Yeah, trust me. I don't have time to live my life.
No, there's no life anymore. Only continue. Josh really found that funny, everybody. Yeah, what is the name of that football podcast, Josh?
Oh my god. Football fantasy. It's got 5 Fs. 5 Fs podcast.
It's fantasy football, fantasy
football. Podcast.
Fantasy football, fantasy football, fantasy football. Fantasy podcast, because it's got 6 Fs, right?
No, it's 5 Fs.
Okay. Just go to Josh's page. It's on there somewhere. Go to his Twitter.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to make a Continue wiki to keep up with all this.
There is one.
Is there?
Yeah.
I'm probably not on that shit.
Maybe. I don't look at it. I don't know.
I really doubt I'm on it. But anyway, hopefully the Fantasy Football Podcast is on it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Probably not.
Anyway, on to DS9. I want to preface this by saying DS9 is easily one of my favorite shows of all time, and it's a close.
I want to preface it by saying you're right.
You are correct that it is your favorite. It is one of your favorites.
Your subjective opinion is very objective and correct.
That's true, though. There's no joke in that.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
And it's a close second to TNG in my Star Trek rankings.
Yes.
However, the first episode of the show honestly got me off to a bad start with the series. Perhaps it's because I just come...
You like that?
That was such a perfect It was just, like, fucking so snappy. Perhaps it's because I'd just come off watching TNG before starting DS9, but I don't remember Emissary fondly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about that a little bit in the episode.
Yeah, it's the setup for the domino effect, so, like, you know, it's not...
Yeah, the first domino being pushed over isn't impressive. It's when
it's when all of them fall, yeah.
Yeah. While DS9 is a great show, I kind of dislike the overarching plot with the wormhole aliens, or the prophets, or whatever bullshit the Bajorans believe.
Yeah.
Side note, I can't stand the Bajorans.
Everyone feels that way.
There's a level of dislike for the Bajorans from pretty much everybody.
I would say, psychologically speaking, it's because it reminds people of the more not great parts of human beings that exist.
It's like a mirror held up to humanity that highlights one of the negative aspects.
Not very flattering, yeah.
For me, the show is strongest when it's not dealing with the religious themes of the Emissary stuff, but I may be in the minority on this one. Nah. I think the war stuff is far more interesting to me.
Yeah, and that ties with the Bajoran stuff, I think. It kind of... The Bajorans kind of, like, don't have a purpose. So, like, they kind of just fight about shit, right?
Yeah.
And, like, they have to... I mean, again, like, this is major spoilers, but they have to, like, see what's out there. And they get a dose of reality, like, hard. Yeah. So it, like, straightens them the fuck out, you know?
It's like, no matter how much you dislike the Bajorans, I think there's a level of, like... pity for them. Like, you're very sorry for the situation that they find themselves in. Not pity per se, but like empathy.
Right.
It's weird that pity basically just means empathy, but it's got this whole negative connotation.
It's negative connotation, yeah. I agree.
All the anime characters going, "Don't you dare pity me!"
That's what it is.
Jack continues, luckily, in terms of my personal taste, the show got exponentially better, and like I said before, it's one of my favorite shows of all time, not just Star Trek. Yeah. Thanks, guys, Jack Carpenter. P.S.
Great email.
Pitch it or ditch it.
Oh, shit.
An episode of Voyager where Harry Kim is a baby back bitch for the entire time. Oh, wait, never mind. That's every episode.
Pitch it or ditch it is becoming like, oh, wait. It's just going to rename the segment, oh, wait. Yeah. Fucking Harry. So he was at Indie PopCon. What's his name? Fuck.
Oh, fuck. Why don't I remember his name?
Oh, shit. It's like the most Harry Kim thing to not remember the real guy's name. He was there, but I didn't want to...
Fuck.
I wanted to talk to him, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to be like that guy, you know?
You bitched out about it. His name's Garrett Wang.
Garrett Wang, yeah, okay, yeah. He seemed like he was alright, but, like, we went to, like, a party with him, and he was there, and I was like, man, I don't want to go talk to him and be like, I really like Star Trek.
That's what he's there for that.
I know, but he's, like, in the same, like, room as me to relax, so I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to, like...
He's not like a... Brent Spiner, where if you mention Star Trek in his presence, he'll yell at you and leave.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, though, because, like, I don't know. I have no clue, dude. You know, he could be like that. I don't know.
That's true. I don't know. He talks about Star Trek all the time on his Twitter, though.
I tweeted at him. He never responded to me, so he's terrible at Twitter.
You gotta respond to everyone who ever tweets at you. We definitely always do that.
I do.
Fuck, no, you don't. Get out of here.
That's true. I'm very important.
Our next email, that's going straight to very important Josh, is from Sean Dupree.
Hey.
Who says, "Hey, Trek boys!
Trek boys!"
Your neighbors are like, what the fuck is going on?
Probably. It's 1 a.m.
Jesus. Big fan of Space T-1000 here. I also love Odo. Deep Space Nine has been my biggest miss in Star Trek, other than the animated series. You guys should include that. It would be fun.
Biggest miss?
He missed it. He missed out on it.
I watched all of the animated series.
And I have to say, I really liked this episode. Other than some horrible acting from Jennifer, this was an amazingly well-directed pilot. The staging was wonderful, and the plot was great.
They had money at this point, too.
True.
So.
I thought it was better than Farpoint, which at times felt like it was a tour of the new Enterprise.
Yeah, it's a little, the motion picture. We talk about that in the episode.
Yeah, it's a little ship porny.
Yeah.
Which is the motion picture.
Yep. Here's a bunch of shots of the ship's tits.
Yeah, shake them nacelles.
I always felt like with the new JJ Enterprise that they just, like, were, like, in the meeting about the ship design, they were like, let's give the ship, like, big titty nacelles. And they were like, yeah.
And they're all have their dicks out under the table.
And they just come on each other because, like, that's what they do.
That's a pretty good metaphor for corporate culture, Josh.
Yeah, I know.
You're a deep, deep man. If I could change one thing, it would be at the beginning when Sisko's son is fishing and he asks his dad if there would be kids there. Sisko smiles and reassures his son, absolutely. And when his comm badge went off, I was hoping it would say, Captain, all the kids left.
That's a big miss.
But I digress. We all know why I'm here, to give you some more of that sweet, sweet Sean Dupree's Pitch It or Ditch It, DS9 edition.
Oh my god, here we go.
1.
All right.
Continuing the tradition of Star Trek breaking social norms with the first interracial or screen kiss on television, we experienced the first on-screen interspecies fuckfest between Nog and Jake. Late series, I'm Not a Pervert.
I'm not gonna say, like, ditch it to that, because, like, I don't want to be, like, a homophobe. But, like, I don't. How would that even work? I feel like
the fact that you had to, like, especially say that you're not a pervert might mean that you're a bit of a pervert.
I mean, I don't. Why are they fucking each other?
Because they're fucking horny, dude.
Oh, they're okay. Yeah, I mean, fine. Like, fine. Yeah.
Why are they fucking each other? Who do you think you are?
I don't. Is that like? Is that like? I just like what they just like show. I mean, like in like the scene, like set the scene for me. Like, are they like just walking in their shared room that they have and just like going to town?
Yeah, they just like they're arguing over Nog. Like Jake's playing his music too loud, right?
Right.
Because it's late series. Nog is like they're both series, 18, right?
Yeah.
Because
of course,
as Sean pointed out, he's not a pervert.
Yeah.
So it's late series, and he's playing his music too loud. Nog says, "God damn it, Jake! You turn that music down, or I'm gonna fuck you right now."
Yeah.
And Jake says, "I dare you."
Yeah.
And then he turns his music up, and then they just fuck.
And the music is like Foreigner. Like, I want to know what love is. Yeah, I'll pitch that. Fuck it.
Fuck it, pitch it.
I'm not gonna say no to that.
No.
Who might have stopped two young men from loving each other?
It's
Nobody.
True. Nobody stands in the way of that.
Nobody stands in the way of love.
2. Barclay runs a DARE program for the children to keep them off the holodeck. Complete with costumed mascot Terry the Tribble reminding kids to get a reality check and stay off the holodeck.
That's very clever.
Shirt it.
That's very clever. I like that.
I can't shirt it because you made it up. So
yeah, we can't steal your idea.
We're gonna steal his idea later.
Just wait until he forgets about it.
Just wait till like 2 episodes from now.
I'm gonna say ditch it.
Yeah, Barclay can't like help himself. Like he's like the worst. He can't even talk to like people, let alone children who are not people. By the way,
no, children are not people.
They're not fully formed yet.
Put that on the fucking DVD box set of M Class Podcast. Children are not people.
Children are not people.
3. The episode you greenlit last week where Odo needs to play Quark for a double date went really well for Odo. So now Odo is faced with a choice. Does he come clean to his new lover, or does he murder Quark and live a double life? Can't wait to hear your voice say my words.
Ditch it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
crazy. I'm gonna have to. I feel like you can make something out of that. Like we were talking about, like he has to talk Odo into playing him because he got 2 dates in one night.
Yeah.
It goes really well. It goes really well for Odo. His date goes really well, and he actually falls in love with the girl. And the second part of the 2-parter is him trying to figure out, like, this is a B plot, obviously.
Like what he's supposed to do.
He has to figure out whether he should tell her that he's Odo, or whether he should keep changing into Quark to go out with her.
Yeah, I feel like that's not Odo, but
maybe
you know
it's like he has to be like forced into it, right? Like she keeps wanting to see Quark, and he has to keep doing it.
And he has to keep going. Yeah, that's more Odo. Yeah.
I'd still probably ditch it, but
yeah, ditch that one. Sorry.
Thank you, Sean.
Those were great, though. Those were really good.
Our next email is from Yakub. I think it's Yakub Dobrowolski.
Yeah.
Who says, more like deep cut 9, am I right?
Fuck, dude.
Seriously, I felt like I was supposed to know way too much about Star Trek for this to be a pilot. This is the guy who was talking about it. I mentioned it in the Deep Space Nine episode.
Yeah. This is the guy.
That's the dude.
There it is.
They bring back characters and races from previous shows, and major plot lines are recalled. Then later in the same episode, Sisko does the Snake from Metal Gear Solid routine and repeats the subject of the last sentence in the form of a question so that the audience doesn't have to for everything everyone says. It seems like they couldn't strike a good balance between satisfying the regulars and attracting new viewers. I definitely felt like TNG 2, we couldn't get everybody from the previous series.
That was harsh.
It's cold. When I checked the episode details before I watched it, I noticed that it premiered in 1999? Nah, 93.
No, 93.
It was 93. I braced myself for laughable special effects, but I was proven wrong. It looks better than this year's The Orville.
There's a shot of the runabout coming up out of the bay, and like they do like a concept shot where like you could see the people inside, which is like pretty fucking good for 1993.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, there's really great lighting in that scene when the doors open and like the light slowly shows the runabout.
Yeah, it's cool.
And he finally got to see that gold press latinum we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Here's my submission for Pitch It or Ditch It.
Oh, man.
Odo accidentally dissolves in water, and the crew hears his cries for help in the showers.
What? Why would he dissolve in water?
I don't know.
It's like, there's like water in the air. There's water everywhere. That's the thing with Signs, right? Like, Signs doesn't make sense, the movie Signs.
Yeah, because there's water everywhere, yeah.
It's fucking in the air. You breathe on somebody, there's water on them.
Doesn't make sense.
That's crazy.
Yours wormholey, Yakub.
All right.
I'm gonna have to say ditch it.
Ditch it, yeah, sorry.
That's like Secret World of Alex Mack shit, is what that is.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. That's funny.
Our next email is from Ivar Lee.
Okay.
Who says, which is better, Sisko's sly grin when he's punking somebody, or Archer daddying up on crew members when they messed up? Signed, Ivar from Seattle. Daddying up.
That's a great fucking way to... Oh my god, that's perfect. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say Sisko's sly grin.
Sisko... But Archer, like... I don't know. He learns a lot. He gets a little more captain-y. But Sisko's better.
Yeah, Sisko is way better
from the get-go.
All around.
From the get-go, yeah.
Thank you, Ivar. I appreciate that.
That was a good one.
I appreciate your emails. And our final email of the evening.
Oh man,
is another email from Steve Nemzik.
Okay.
Who says, "Pitch it or ditch it."
Oh shit.
Time for some pitch it or ditch it.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Trek boys!
Trek boys!
We gotta reset this next episode. Start back at the regular level.
I know. I'm killing it.
Check this shit out. 1. Mirror Universe Dax shows up pregnant and demands Dr. Bashir take care of her because the Mirror Universe Bashir is the baby daddy, but split rather than spending a lifetime listening to her nagging.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm learning a lot about Steve in that question.
Well, yeah, I mean, spoilers, Sisko fucks her.
Yes. So
regular Prime Universe, yeah.
It could be regular Prime Universe Sisko's kid, but I feel like you'd be able to tell.
What are you talking about, Jeff?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, there's something there, I think.
You could make something out of that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the Mirror Universe DS9 characters are cuckoo, man.
They're absolutely fucking cartoon characters.
They're bonkers.
But I mean,
characters.
TOS was too.
Yeah. I mean, they're all like that.
Like in TOS, they're basically like Nazis saluting, going "Hail evil! Hail evil!"
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, dude. In Enterprise, they do a really cool Mirror Universe episode where they intercut clips of First Contact. Like, and you're like, oh, I'm watching like the beginning of or the end of First Contact where Zefram Cochrane is making first contact, and he pulls a fucking shotgun on the Vulcan.
And it's the beginning of the Mirror Universe.
It's awesome.
That is really cool. And then they do a whole opening theme that has like different footage on it.
It's all different. It's really cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah, Mirror Universe characters though they're just silly.
I'll say, I don't know. I had enough of Mirror Universe in Deep Space Nine, so I'm gonna say ditch it.
There's so much Mirror Universe that you're like, there's like one a year, and you're like, oh god,
yeah,
these guys again.
The only good part of it is seeing Kira, like her non-visitor gets super into playing Mirror Kira.
Oh my god,
Kira.
she's like horned the fuck up.
Always horned. Always.
Damn, she's
For
like, I don't give a
ladies, aliens. It doesn't matter.
One time she just like fucks a phaser, and you're like, holy shit.
Should that kill you? Jesus.
Not her.
2, Keiko thinks Molly is with Miles, and Miles thinks she's with Keiko. But in reality, Molly is trapped by a group of Nausicaans and is forced to be a coke mule? What the fuck, Steve?
Why do they have coke?
Space coke. I guess that's...
like those sticks that lady licks. The five-handed, six-handed lady, whatever.
Fucking, and she transports drugs around the station. Hilarity ensues when Jake gets addicted to black tar heroin. And he chases her through the station nude.
These are crazy. These are crazy.
I feel like we might have to cut this whole part out. What the fuck?
Yeah. I don't think.
I'm gonna say ditch it on that one, like hard ditch it.
A hard ditch, yeah.
3, Riker gets space herpes. Ditch it.
They don't have herpes.
No, that doesn't happen.
Did I mention the thing before about the thing I want to do about the the second sexual revolution that happens?
I don't think you
Earth?
mentioned that.
I did to you, I think.
I think maybe to me, but I don't think you mentioned it on here.
Yeah, at some point, like the sexual revolution in America, like during the 60s because of birth control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there would be another one in Star Trek when every venereal disease was cured. People would just fuck the shit out of each other. Like,
especially
it would
if
just
they
happen.
made like 100% accurate birth control as well.
Yeah.
People would just be
fucking
boning
like
all day.
Yeah. It would be a fucking fuck fest, dude.
Yeah.
So there's no
fucking
herpes.
all the time.
No more herpes.
4, the Ferengi discover a way to transform Borg into sex bots. Steve, I don't think you're taking Pitch It or Ditch It seriously.
I don't think I would stick my penis in that. I'm sorry.
No, well, you talked about that during First Contact that you would.
Yeah, but like if the Ferengi are involved, I don't know what's going on down there.
It definitely clamps on, and you have to give money to get it off.
Insert 1 latinum to get your dick back.
Yeah, every time you thrust, you'd have to put a latinum in to get to be able to pull back.
Yeah.
5. Julian Bashir is revealed to be a human named Paul Ritchie, who, because he never ages, apparently has lived through so many universal deaths and rebirths that eventually the events of Star Trek are reality. He tries to recreate a web show on the holodeck to boost crew morale during the Dominion War. The hologram of Josh rebels, and with screams of "It me," proceeds to murder the entire crew.
If I get to be in Star Trek, pitch it.
This is later revealed to be a dream in true Dallas fashion.
Was that Dallas?
I don't remember. I think it was.
Who shot JR? I guess it's Dallas.
That was Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, if I get to be in Star Trek, like, hell yeah. I'll do anything.
I don't get
I'm
to be in
shameless.
Star Trek. Ditch it.
Oh no!
Josh, you'll never be in Star Trek now.
No!
Thanks for all the hard work. Keep plugging away, brothers. Much love from Detroit, Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Great emails.
You have the weird fucking sense of writing, buddy, but thanks for the email.
Coke Mule Molly.
Like, what the fuck?
Molly's so adorable. Like, how are you good?
She's a cute little girl. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fine, Steve. Thanks for writing in. If you'd like to have your email read on the air, you can send it to the correct email address that only a complete idiot would tell you the wrong one on his own podcast. You can send it to mclassemail@gmail.com.
No S.
No S. None.
We should make a shirt.
Except the 2 in class.
We should make a shirt that's just the first one, M-Class emails, and then have a big cross out, and then have the actual email under it.
Shirt it.
Shirt it.
We're not going to shirt it. Thanks for writing in, everybody who did. You can follow us on Twitter at mclasspodcast. You can listen to the actual podcast if you don't, which would be really fucking weird, but...
That would be super weird.
Look forward to more cool content from your Trek boys.
After the Voyager episode.
Yeah, I guess we have to deal with that one first.
Oh no, a space alien kicked me halfway across the galaxy. Ah!
Oh no! I don't know.
I guess we gotta get back.
How are we gonna get home?
I like coffee a lot.
Well, Picard liked tea a lot, but...
Yeah, well, tea's the gentleman's drink.
That's true. Coffee is for boorish plebeians.
Yeah. Boorish plebeians from... Where's Janeway from? Like, Ohio? Or something?
Fucking Steve hates her if she is.
There's that episode where, like, she's, like, talking about her ancestor, and it turns out to be completely not true, or whatever.
I don't remember.
That's a pretty good episode.
Yeah, well, join us next time. Join your Trek boys, Jeff and Josh, next time on M-Class Podcast and M-Class Emails. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.